Hello, my name is Sean Hamilton, and today we're going to talk about how to get your book or someone else's book made into a movie. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is get it optioned or purchase the option. Now, what is an option? An option is like a rental. It is the way that a production company reserves the rights to make the book into a movie. Now, it usually has a 1-year contract with stipulations for possibly 1 or 2 more years after that in case they can't get it going as they thought they would. Now, what can get optioned? A lot of things. Published novels, nonfiction books, magazine articles, short stories, unpublished books can all be turned into movies. Now, an unpublished book is going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's still an option. How much is an option worth? Well, it all depends. They start at around 500, can go up to 5,000, but it all depends on demand. So if you are an international bestseller, you can demand a lot more money than the starting out artist who has a zero fan base. Do you need an agent? Yes. Not always, but yes. Because they have worked their life to develop a network of people and who to talk to get you into the right doors. You need an agent. Because you can do it on your own, but it would be really difficult, and you might as well just kind of pay that money to take that stress off your plate. You're going to need one to get published, right? That literary agent, and you're going to need one to navigate the film world as well. Now, what are your rights when getting an option? The rights when getting an option that you need to be concerned about are, does anybody else have an option on that book? So if you're a production company, you need to find this out by contacting the publishing house and find out if anybody has any options already on the book. If there's any other subsidiary rights, you need to contact the author, make sure that they're okay with this whole concept, and you can usually get a hold of them through the rights and acquisitions department of a publishing house. Now, if the rights are unavailable, don't use the book. Lawsuits are horrible. They're expensive. They are a waste of your time and money. Now, if the film rights are in the public domain, that is awesome, because now you can get to work. You can use this book. As long as it's in the public domain, you can use anybody's work. Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Jonathan Swift, doesn't matter. Use it. As long as there is no longer a copyright, you can use it. Now, if there are any other rights on this option agreement you need to be concerned about, absolutely. Because as an author, you're going to want to look at definitely the alteration rights and the author-written sequels. As a production company, you're going to want to understand that now you own and hold the copyrights to the audiovisual productions, the works. You also have stage rights to be able to perform the live adaptations, and the radio rights to play your audio-only versions of the adapted work on the radio for publicity and that kind of advertising, that kind of thing. So as an author, you really want to look at the alteration rights, because that is where the book and the movie start to vary drastically. Because once you sign away these alteration rights, the production company has the right to give the freedom to their Hollywood writers to kind of change what they want to. That's why a lot of books end up very different than the movies later on. Now, the author-written sequels, this one is definitely something you should look at as an author, because, let's say you were J.K. Rowling and the first Harry Potter book came out and it was just horrible as a movie and it tanked your whole series, but now the production company still owns the rights to all the sequels that you are going to produce with those characters, right? So Dan Brown, if he produced, he wrote Angels and Demons, then he wrote Da Vinci Code, then he wrote The Lost Symbol, all these ones that, follow Robert Langdon. If Ron Howard were to have tanked the first one, well, the production company still owns the ability to go after all of the sequels that you have in line and in store for that. So just pay attention to that. Now, what happens if your book gets greenlit after being optioned? This is payday. For an author, this is the most important day of the year, because as soon as it gets greenlit, that means they have about 2 or 3% of the movie's budget gets to go into your pocket. So if they get $10 million for a movie based on your book, boom, $200,000 payday. Man, good luck to all the authors and production companies out there. Thank you for paying attention.